The Weight of Silence, by Jacob Goff. #I, the Audit. The horror did not begin with a scream. It began with a spreadsheet. Clara Vance, a senior policy analyst for the Pennsylvania Department of Health, sat in a basement office in Harrisburg, staring at a decimal point that shouldn't have existed. Danville State Hospital was billing the state for structural integration therapy. On paper, it looked like a standard geriatric care initiative. But when Clara cross-referenced the patient IDs with the building's utility bills, the numbers curdled. Ward C, which supposedly housed 20 patients, was consuming enough electricity to power an industrial smelting plant. More disturbingly, the patient density metrics for these individuals showed a linear, daily increase of exactly 0.12%. They weren't gaining weight, they were becoming heavier. "They're turning into stone," Clara whispered to the empty office. She didn't have time to call the press. The door behind her opened, and the scent of wet lime and ammonia filled the room. A man in a matte gray suit, the architect, stood there with a needle. "You have a very thorough mind, Clara," he said. "It's time we put it to use in the foundation." #II, the Softening. Clara woke in Ward C, but it wasn't a hospital. It was a mold. She was strapped into a high-backed chair in the softening chamber, where a constant, pearlescent mist hissed from the ceiling, a bioactive particulate of calcium carbonate and mineral binders. With every breath, the mist settled in her alveoli, beginning a microscopic calcification of her soft tissue. To her left, bed 2 was no longer a bed, it was a pedestal. Nicholas didn't turn his head, he couldn't. His neck was a seamless pillar of gray-veined marble. "Don't fight the weight," Nicholas's voice vibrated through the floorboards. "Eris says the state is too heavy for steel. It needs souls to carry the load." 3 floors below, Julian, a third-generation stonemason, found a network of copper tubing poolsing inside the granite. He pressed his ear to the stone and heard a heartbeat. Through the joint, the collective consciousness of the integrated, Clara whispered to Julian through the pipes, "Poison the mix." Julian hauled canisters of industrial lye to the reservoir. The building groaned as the pH balance shifted. The north arch fractured, and Clara tore herself free from the stone as the wing tilted into the river. #III, the Differential Diagnosis. Clara opened her eyes to the aggressive, antiseptic white of a modern 2025 medical suite. No stone arches, just acoustic drop tiles and the chirp of a pulse oximeter. "You had a severe acute psychotic break," Dr. Sterling told her, clicking a ballpoint pen. Click, click. The rhythm matched the stone heartbeat. He explained that Clara had been found in her office, trying to mortar shredded ledgers to the walls with drywall dust. For a moment, she believed him. Then she felt the vibration in her teeth. She looked at the modern composite windowsill and found a small, familiar **X** etched into the resin. The horror had simply evolved. The architect hadn't wanted to build a hospital. He wanted to build a world. The 2025 infrastructure was a polymer integration, and the sanitizing mist was now a scentless pharmaceutical aerosol. #IV, the Macrostructural Ledger. Clara was moved to the atrium, a masterpiece of glass and white polymer. She realized the patients here weren't just pillars. Their brains were the hardware running the hospital's billing and insurance software. They were a server farm made of flesh. Julian, working as maintenance, dropped a shard of 1880s brick into her lap, a piece of analog noise. Clara used the shard to scratch a logic bomb into her own hardening skin. She realized the Danville protocol had gone viral. Every sleek skyscraper and smart city grid was stabilized by integrated human nodes. She injected a paradox into the mesh. If the hospital is a patient, it is billing itself for its own existence. The system hit a hard layer of reality. Beneath the resin and the brick lay a foundation of petrified bones stretching miles into the earth. "Humanity didn't invent building with people," Sterling's voice roared from the earth. "The earth is a vessel that hasn't finished setting. You were always the mortar." #V, the Clara Strata Epilogue. 10 million years later, the inspectors returned to the dead, diamond geode of Earth. They found Clara encased in a stasis field at the planet's core, a flaw in the diamond. Your audit is incomplete, the inspectors pulsed. The vessel failed to set because of your paradox. Explain the discrepancy. Clara's eyes snapped open, burning with white energy. She sent a final data packet up their tether, containing every scream ever silenced in the stone. The discrepancy, Clara's thought roared, shattering her crystal tomb and unfolding the planet asterisk, is that we were never yours to use. We are not the mortar. We are the architects, and your lease has expired. The diamond geode of Earth shattered. Billions of souls were released as a sentient nebula of memory and light. Clara rose from the wreckage, holding a broken shard of brick. Beside her, a constellation took the shape of a man with a chisel. The audit is finished, Julian's voice rumbled from the stars. What's next, Clara? Clara looked at the nearest star system. Next, she said, we audit the rest of the universe. I think the architects owe us a refund.